This is my second march. I was in D.C. last year, and I came back to do a speech this time, but I don't really know how to do a speech unless it rhymes, so I'm going to do a little poem for you guys. It's 2009, and I'm 14, and I'm crying. Not really sure where I am, but I'm holding the hand of my best friend Sam in the waiting room of a Planned Parenthood. But I can't tell my mom where I've gone. I can't tell anyone at all. You see, my best friend Sam was raped by a man that we knew because he worked in the after-school program. And he held her down with her textbooks beside her, and he covered her mouth, and then he came inside her.
Generating national outrage after receiving just a 6-month sentence for sexually assaulting a young woman.
The judge is basically saying, you know, it doesn't matter what your past actions were, just don't do it again.
It's 20 minutes for a lifetime of sentence. And I'm like, what do you think the woman had to deal with?
So she's so blitz, she won't know the difference.
He's got a case of Matchbox cars, and he says that he'll teach me to play the guitar if I just keep quiet.
As a show and as actors, you know, I think we all feel the responsibility of not taking those storylines lightly and approaching them with sensitivity.
Katrina said, I'm willing to show it all, to do it all, and to look like she's been abused.
For me, yes, it's a horrible situation to have to sort of go through these rape enactments, but for the guys, I think it was just awful that they had to inhabit these horrible rapists, and they were all so respectful.
And the stairwell beside apartment 1245 will haunt me in my sleep for as long as I am alive, and I'm too young to know why it aches in my thighs, but I must lie. I must lie. He's taken to forcing me down on my knees, and I'm confused because he's hurting me while he says please. And he's only a man, and these things he just needs, he's my boyfriend. So why am I filled with unease?
Peeling off and discarding my underwear like a candy wrapper to insert your finger into my body is where you went wrong.
Until a man that I trust gets his hands in my pants, but I don't want none of that. I just wanted to dance, and I wake up the next morning like I'm in a trance and there's blood. Is that my blood?
63% of 18 to 24-year-olds experience sexual harassment at work, 69% of hospitality workers and 67% of manual workers. And last week, Google workers effectively took strike action, even though they don't have a union, against sexual harassment and inequality. Me Too now has to be taken into the workplace and into society, and women and men are seeing the necessity for themselves.
Dick David, and she wasn't moving.
It was clear she wasn't moving.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein verdict: guilty of rape and criminal sexual assault, not guilty on 3 other counts.
He was once one of the most powerful movie producers in Hollywood, but tonight Harvey Weinstein is a convicted sex offender, facing 5 to 29 years behind bars.
But we want to be clear about what the Me Too movement is about. There's lots of conversation about it being about taking down powerful men or about targeting people, and it's not about any of those things. This is a movement about giving people access to a healing journey, to make sure the most marginalized amongst us have an opportunity to start a pathway to healing.
This crowd gathered outside the police station where the accused men were being held and demanded police hand them over to face justice.
And it might seem embarrassing to show a pair of thongs here in this incongruous setting of the Dáil.
Deputy.
But the reason I'm doing it, how do you think a rape victim or a woman feels at the incongruous setting of her underwear being shown in a court?
Taoiseach to respond.
What do you mean this happened to me? You can't put your hands on me. You don't know what my body has been through. I'm supposed to be safe now. I earned it. It's 2018, and I've realized that nobody is safe long as she is alive. And every friend that I know has a story like mine. And the world tells me we should take it as a compliment.
To take action, because they can't wait for the pace of change being offered by this Parliament.
To other survivors, but also to my younger self, I would say that you are so not alone. There's so many forces that may make you feel like you are, but I feel like the powerful thing about Me Too is that people were able to say, I will be there for you, to believe you and hold you.
Is the new landscape for survivors of sexual assault in America, I believe.
But then heroes like Ashley and Simone and Gabby, Michaela and Gaga, Rosario, Allie, remind me this is the beginning, it is not the finale, and that's why we're here, and that's why we rally. It's Olympians and a medical resident, and not one fucking word from the man who is president. It's about closed doors and secrets and legs and stilettos from the Hollywood Hills to the projects and ghettos. When babies are ripped from the arms of teen mothers and child brides cry globally under the covers who don't have a voice on the magazine covers. They tell us take cover. But we are not free until all of us are free. So love your neighbor. Please treat her kindly. Ask her her story and then shut up and listen. Black, Asian, poor, wealthy, trans, cis, Muslim, Christian, listen, listen, and then yell at the top of your lungs. Be a voice for all those who have prisoner tongues, for the people who had to grow up way too young. There is work to be done. There are songs to be sung. Lord knows there's a war to be won. Thank you.